Hello. We can hear you.
Give it just a minute till we get to 4:30.
God forbid we start a meeting early.
No, I wouldn't want people to miss anything. Okay, I think we're good. I'm gonna start.
It's recording.
Oh, are we recording? Okay, super great. All right, hello, everyone. It's 4:30 on October 29th, and we're calling to order Personnel Commission meeting. Secretary, would you kindly call the roll?
Sure. Chairperson Goldstein,
Present?
Vice Chairperson Alford,
Present?
and Commissioner Roder let us know that he would not be able to attend today.
Got it. Okay, great. So we'll just work on a two-person.
Yes, consensus.
Great. We'll start with public comment, item 3 on the agenda. I see a couple people in the room and it's hard to tell how many are joining virtually, but there are at least a few. So if anybody's interested in speaking for public comment, please either use your little hand icon if you're online, but I'll start with the room. If there's anybody in the room who would like to make a public comment? No? Okay, anyone online?
Not at this time.
Sarah, do you see anybody else? No, okay, so we'll say none. There's a public comment segment at the end of this meeting if you change your mind and you decide you want to make public comment. Let's move on to item 4, which is approval and adoption of the agenda.
I just had one question about the discussion items, the 9A and B. Are those both verbal?
Yes,
Okay, cool, because I was looking at for the annual report at the end and I didn't see it. And I was like, I was hoping I didn't miss it.
we are going to present something. and
Gotcha.
we're providing copies.
Cool. All right, then in that case, I move adoption.
Okay, great, I agree.
Requests.
Oh, yeah, please.
We do have some members of the public that are here to speak to the step advance request. I was
Mhm.
wondering if we could propose moving them up.
That's a great idea.
So, your name, Cynthia? Lois? Okay,
Mhm.
and then Linnea Larson. So that's E and F. E and F.
Right, okay, so why don't we move those to? What do you think, Sully? Should we do it before reports? Do we have anybody
Oh,
waiting from the
Were you
district?
just saying we move them up in the list of within the conference items or
Yes.
earlier in the meeting?
Oh,
Yeah, within the
just within the conference
Yeah.
items, okay. Okay, so you want to take E and F and start with them,
Yes.
okay,
I
Agree?
agree.
okay,
I'll move that as amended.
okay, I agree. Let's go to the meeting minutes. So we have one set of meeting minutes. These are the meeting minutes from September 24th, which was our regular meeting. Commissioner Alford, comments? Changes?
Not seeing any corrections.
I have just one. If I could ask that when we talk about the discussion related to item 7J, J like joy, the concerns, can we flesh that out just a tiny bit and add concerns related to human resources vetting for do not hire after the eligibility list has been established? Does that make sense?
As ongoing HR concerns.
Ongoing concerns about or regarding HR vetting for do not hire after an eligibility list is established.
I'll move them with that change.
Is that all right with you?
Mhm.
Okay, all right. Do I have a motion?
I'll move them with that change.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, great, and I agree. We'll move on to reports. So we'll start with 6A, the union report. Is the union here?
Frank and Mildred.
Yeah,
Nice.
Frank here. I don't have anything. Maybe Mildred does. And she just stepped in, I saw.
All right, why don't we move on, and if she does, we'll circle around at the end. So let's move on with district reports.
Don't see anyone from the district.
I wasn't told whether they would be attending today or not.
Uh-huh.
No updates from the district.
All right, so we'll cycle back around one more time for the district. Commissioner reports?
Nothing from me.
Okay, actually, I don't have a report either, so, okay. Then we will hand it over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being here tonight. Why don't we start with a quick overview of the personnel activity report for September, which can be found on page 6 of the agenda. We see here that the personnel commission team generated 9 new eligibility lists this month, and we administered 214 exams over 21 workdays. So that averaged about 10 exams per day. So been a very productive month. And just like in August, we've seen a high level of activity. So we can see in this report that there have been 22 new hires and then 4 promotions district-wide. So most of our new employees are joining as instructional assistant to SPEDs or instructional technicians before and after school. So as we know, these are our hardest to fill positions. So with progress is great news. And then our team continues to maintain the 2-week turnaround for the IA2 SPEDs and the IT after school recruitments. So this is also helping us move our candidates faster from testing to onboarding. And so we also, as usual, would like to thank our HR colleagues for working closely with us to get this done. I'm also excited to share first for us, at the time that this report was prepared, we only had 4 vacant IT after school positions. And the Human Resources Department received a fresh eligibility list that was recently certified. So normally in the past, we've tracked vacancies. We've always had around 20 to 25 vacancies in that class. So this really shows how far we've come. And we know there's still work to do. So we're continuing to explore ways to reduce contractor use and expand opportunities for our current employees. We've met with the after school team and they identified 10 of those IT positions that are currently filled by contractors. So just like what was done with the SPED department, they'll be submitting a request to the board to formally establish those 10 positions, and that should be going to the November 5th board meeting. We're also continuing to meet to explore other options like adding FTE to existing employee schedules, considering overtime opportunities, and then possibly like 4-10 schedules. So all of this to give our existing staff a chance to take on more hours and to help support the after school programs, while also reducing the need for subs and contractors. And finally, related to the subject, we're gearing up for our next recruitment and hiring event, which is going to take place on November 19th, just before the Thanksgiving break. Our goal again is to help candidates apply, test, and begin onboarding all in the same day, so we can keep filling those vacancies in our IA, SPED, and after school positions. So we're really looking forward to that. And that concludes my report for this month.
Thank you, thank you. I'm so delighted to hear fewer position vacancies and some movement in terms of converting contractor positions. And we really look forward to hearing how some of the other alternatives might be applied, especially the 4-10 schedules. And comment?
Thanks for the work.
All right, let's double back then. I don't know if Mildred is back or the union has decided it has comments or not.
Hey, Mildred, but I don't know. If she wants to speak.
Okay, if we don't see a hand raised, I'll assume not. And no one from the district. Okay, All right, then I think we're ready to move on. Item 7 is our consent items. These are our eligibility lists. And I really want to congratulate the team. This is the first time that I can remember where every list has at least 3 ranks, which is great. And where the average interval for getting exams done is under about 11 days, I think. So well done, and you really have been cooking this month. I don't have anything in particular for any of the lists. Any for you? No? Okay.
Glad that there are many.
Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
And I agree. So we have approved A through H, the eligibility lists. Okay, we have many conference items for step advanced requests, and we have 2 of the folks here in the audience with us. So we're going to move the step advanced request for Linnea Larson and for Cynthia Loiza. Louisa, thank you. Okay, up to the top. So, what I generally do is ask the secretary to first just sort of tell us about that request and her recommendation, and then we'll give the floor over to you.
All right, so we'll start off with Ms. Larson. So this item is a request for advanced step placement for Linnea Larson. She was hired as an instructional assistant, transitional kindergarten. And Ms. Larson holds a master's degree in early childhood education, a California teaching credential, and then over 20 years of classroom experience. So due to her exceptional qualifications and the challenge of recruiting for these IATK positions, I am recommending placement at step 5. Ms. Larson is here, so I don't know if she has anything to add to that.
Just that I'm really proud to be part of the USD. I love it. I love the classrooms. They're diverse and they're smart and they're progressive. And I love being around like-minded teachers. I'm really proud to be part of the USD. Yes, I've been a teacher for lots of years. I took an IE position because I was teaching at the BUSD preschools as a general education teacher, which I've been all this time. And had a wonderful experience there, and was then asked by Sean Mansinger and Stephanie Dictato and the special ed department staff to move to special ed at the preschool. So I stepped into that position for a year with an emergency credential, but was told that I would have to go on for more schooling. I have a master's, but in early childhood education. So I taught for a year at special ed. I really loved it. It was a lot. And I wasn't sure. I said to Stephanie, the supervisor who asked me to come back, and Sean, if I could do both, go to school and get my credential and teach special education, it was so much. So I said, I do need a little time to think about that. And over the summer, I thought to myself, why don't I still want to be connected with children and be in the classroom and part of the USD. I don't want to lose that. But what if I took on this responsibility and could study? So I figured this out with the help of people back at the preschools too who know me. Yeah.
What a great solution.
Yeah.
What a great approach. All right, it's brilliant. And your depth of experience is fabulous. So feel very lucky to have you, and glad you love USD and that you're proud to be here and that you bring so much to it. Question?
My only question is the district helping to pay for the new credential?
Will they pay?
Or I want to make sure that we're helping you get the education that we need to bring you back, so.
That would be awesome, because at the preschools, Madeline, who's the principal there, said, and that's going back 2 or 3 years or 2 years ago, when they asked if I'd step into that role, she did talk about helping to pay for it. But now that I'm no longer there, So they said I could come back to it once I have that.
Gotcha. Because I know there are programs to help with education. I don't know.
Well, I'm wondering
We do have
actually
pathways- We
if,
do have a pathways.
can you
program.
speak to that a little
Yeah,
bit?
so we do have a pathways program. I can definitely send you more information, but it's for our classified employees who are looking to transition to credential positions. So, yeah, it's a great opportunity and I think it's something we need to look into probably towards the end of the school year and the summer so that you can apply.
Thank you. That would be wonderful.
We look forward to continuing to have you in a variety of roles.
For sure.
I'll move approval.
Thank you. I agree. Congratulations. Okay. All right, so we'll move on to the next one, which is Cynthia, which is also an IA assistant to SPED position. So we'll do exactly the same thing. We'll let the secretary read out her recommendation, then we'll ask for it.
So, this is also a request for advanced step placement for Cynthia Loaiza. She was hired as an instructional assistant two, in special education. Ms. Loaiza holds a bachelor's degree in human development from UC Davis. She has more than 6 years of experience supporting students with disabilities and in recognition of her strong educational background and her direct SPED experience and recommended placement at Centre.
And would you like to add some comments?
Speak about, like yourself, I have been working at various different school districts and I've worked with children for about a decade in educational behavior and enrichment settings. And by far, I have enjoyed almost all of my time here. I worked with USDM at Longfellow Middle School as an RPT in training. And so I made a lot of great connections there and friendships. Everyone has kind of guided me in a way like, you should come work with us, please. Like, we'd be great to have you on the team. And my big goal was to work with children that are marginalized or underrepresented. So in the SPED department, I would love to get my teaching credential as a SPED teacher in the future. So I do see myself doing for the long term. And I have a lot of things that I have brought, that I've learned overall. I'm a martial arts instructor as well. I've been teaching for about 8 years now. And I developed a pre-judo class and I have in works designing an adaptive judo class as well. And so I just have a good passion for working with young kids and just children on the spectrum. So I'm really excited to be on the team and enjoy that time.
That's super. I know it also that you're bilingual, yes?
I can speak Spanish. That's
Great,
the first
that's always nice to know. Nice to have. Questions?
None
Comments?
from me.
I have one, which is really just more for our secretary, which was to understand how you counted the RBT and training experience. Did you count that in the 6 years or?
So I counted it, the RBT, well, so I looked at the current experience she had in her position. The RBT and training was from June 2024.
Mhm.
I did count it as her work experience as well, and then also her bachelor's degree for her educational experience, but her RBT experience was counted towards a year.
Okay, towards a year of the 6.
Yeah.
All right, and what we need is 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Or
great.
4, because if they get one step in the
Right,
education.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes it's a little unclear to me how we handle in training, versus, not in training
Yeah.
positions. It sounds like notwithstanding, you've got plenty of qualifications. And then some that we didn't even know about here, which is great to hear. Are we, ready to vote?
Yeah, move as recommended.
I agree. Congratulations. I hope you both stay here a really long
Oh.
time. We really need good special ed folks and you both sound like you just, it's your calling, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Right, well, thank you.
You're welcome to stay for the meeting. You're also welcome to go home.
Right. If you're not interested in the rest, we won't be offended, right? But thank you for coming. Absolutely. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to go back up to item A, right?
Yeah.
And Secretary, would you please read it,
Yeah.
walk us through?
This is a request for advanced step placement for Davia. I hope I'm not getting that wrong.
I have never seen that many vowels strung together. I don't know how to pronounce it either.
And she was hired as an instructional assistant in transitional kindergarten. Ms. Boad holds an associate's degree in child development and then also multiple early childhood certifications. She has over 6 years of classroom experience supporting young learners. So given her strong qualifications and then the difficulties we've had recruiting for this role, I'm recommending placement at step 5.
Commissioner, questions?
Just wondering if she was, it's not looking like she's online.
I don't,
She is actually.
is she? Oh, super. Okay, good.
Davia, would you like to speak?
Hi, this is Davia.
Hi, Dabia.
Hi.
Please go ahead and speak and tell us how we say pronounce your last name.
Oh yeah, I know. It's hard. It's Bode.
Bode, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not
That's great.
I'm not a public speaker, but just I wanna add I love being around kids. I love my job. I enjoy every day working with my little ones. I joined the district. This is my second year and a third year through the agency. And I hope my requests will. I hope. I'm stuck. I told you. I'm not a good speaker.
It's fine.
Oh
It-
yeah.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a question actually for our secretary, but I'll defer to you first. We're seeing a bunch of really super qualified people. Are these folks who had, because I heard Davia's comment about through the agency, are these people who were, prior agency, coming to us as employees now?
So some of them are,
Mhm.
I believe Ms. Loaiza was working for an agency and Ms. Davia she was working for an agency called the Stepping Stone. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she is, and then there's a few more that we'll see that are also that were agency contractors as well.
Got
but
it.
not all of them.
Got it.
I was
Okay.
very impressed with the candidate pool.
The candidate quality is just striking. Yeah, yeah. So I'm sorry, questions, no questions?
No questions?
Motion?
Motion to approve?
Okay, I agree. Davia, congratulations. We're delighted you're here and hope that you stay a long time.
Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Let's move on to B. Let's request B.
Okay, so this is a request for step placement for Fernando Caldera. He was hired as an instructional assistant 2 in special ed. Mr. Caldera brings over 11 years of experience working as a paraeducator, including work with students requiring intensive behavioral and academic support. His experience and professionalism and the fact that we have 27 vacancies, so it's a challenging recruitment, led me to make the recommendation to place him at step 5.
All right, thank you.
Don't know if he's.
Is he
I'm sure you'll need to,
Fernando Caldera?
his name's not on here. Fernando, are you on?
Okay, maybe not. Commissioner Albert?
I was just gonna say, I was struck by, a degree in stage management. I feel like is very useful in the school setting.
I was looking at the ASL.
ASL
actually,
also,
and
I was
thinking,
gonna say,
oh my God,
Yeah,
that's, yeah.
two great,
Right.
two great.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Oh,
Oh,
hello.
you are here. Oh, super.
I was trying to figure out this Zoom button real quick. My apologies.
Okay, no, great. Glad you're here. Please go ahead. The floor is yours. We'd love to hear your comments.
So like I was saying, it's our first time ever having this comment on being timed. After 11 and a half years, I was burnt out with not enough staffing, a high number of students, and just not enough people to counterbalance the situations. And my body kind of gave out. So I took a year break. I used my CalPERS to bounce back, recharge. I want to come back to this district. I see that there's a small misunderstanding on my my bio real quick. So both degrees are halfway finished. I applied to Berkeley Unified so I can actually go back to Berkeley City, finish it so I can continue my education and my certification in education with children.
Got it. Okay, so you are in process in your AA degree.
Yes.
Okay, got
And
it.
yes.
Oh, I see, yeah, some college 49 units.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying. Appreciate that.
That shouldn't affect.
It should have, because he has 11 years as a paraeducator. I was actually looking at the years of experience.
Right.
So I was,
Oh,
unfortunately, because I was so good at my job, I couldn't finish the degrees because I kept adding more kids and workloads and severe cases. So they're like, we'll send you someone for sure. And they never did for a few years. So yeah.
Do we have questions? I do have one question for you, Fernando, which is, do you use your ASL often?
So yeah, when I started working with children, I noticed that a lot of nonverbal children were having trouble communicating. So I just started implementing sign language, and I slowly started transitioning the sign language out once they started using some verbal cues. So I'd sign and talk at the same time. And if they were bilingual, I'd say English, Spanish, and sign language at the same time.
Oh, amazing,
Nice,
amazing.
nice. Okay. So are you bilingual as well? Is that,
Yes.
all right, because I think I missed that.
And he is in place at Sylvan Bender Elementary School as an IA.
Right, with a bilingual requirement or no?
No, it's not a requirement.
Not a bilingual, we are just
But it's
lucky
immersion.
that,
Yeah.
okay. Wow, all right, super, thank you. Thank you so much and glad to have you.
Thank you.
Ready to vote?
Yes, I'll move approval.
Okay, and I agree, it's step 5. Fernando, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And stay with us a long time, please.
I hope so. I'm hoping so. Yes.
All right, super. Let's move on to request C.
So this item is a request for advanced step placement for Michelle Dotson Powell. She was hired as an instructional assistant 2 in special education. Mrs. Dotson Powell brings over 25 years of experience working with children, including more than a decade supporting students with special needs. So based on her experience, the challenging recruitment, I'm recommending her request for step placement at step 4.
Step 4. And do we think she may be on?
Michelle, you can speak if you'd like.
Hi, hello everyone, how are you?
Hi there.
Hi, thank you for listening and considering me.
Absolutely. Anything you want to tell us about your qualifications or what you're?
Sure, like you heard, I have over 20-something years of experience working with children of all ages. I am an experienced preschool teacher. I just recently left an organization where I was a head preschool teacher for toddlers. Like someone just said, I kind of got burnt out in that position. I've been doing it for so long, and I am a returning employee for Berkeley Unified School District as well. So I used to work at LeConte Elementary. I got hired as a special ed IA back in the 90s or something, and I worked there for about maybe 8 years, and then I took a leave of absence, went through some personal stuff, and I decided just to go to school. I went to school, and got some ECE units. I got about 20, maybe 25 ECE units. I have them all except for one, the student teaching one, and I'm in school now, so I have my AA in January. And
Great.
yeah, yeah, I love working with children. It's my passion. I wouldn't do anything different. And I love working with all children of all ages and abilities. So I decided to come back to Berkeley so I can get a little break from the preschool setting. I needed it, and I'm so happy I made that choice. I really am. I feel so much better. It was just not that I wouldn't, go back to teaching, but I'm not. I'm good. I'm here, and I just needed a break from it. It was just too much for me.
Understandable, understandable. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I see somebody else has a hand up.
Mildred.
Okay.
Mildred.
Mildred, did you have a comment on this one?
Yes, I do. So what I wanted to say is that I just have a concern with it being with Ms. Dotson being considered at a step 4 instead of at a step 5 with 25 years of experience, and the fact that she is a rehire and she used to teach in Berkeley. I would think that she would be considered at a step 5 instead of at a step 4. It just doesn't seem fair to me that we would put her at a step 4 instead of at a step 5 with the years of experience and her being a rehire and have been in the district and working for over I think almost a decade. So I would just like for us to consider putting her at a step 5 instead of a step 4.
I was gonna bring this up, actually.
Yeah, I think we were all thinking that. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for the
Thank you, Mildred. I
consideration.
appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm happy to recommend that as well as go with what their request.
Yeah, if I can, I understand usually we go with what they request.
Yeah.
Sounds like she requested step 4, but I don't think there's any reason, he meets all the criteria for a step 5 placement.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Thank you
Um,
all. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, don't sell yourself short.
I
Afterwards,
won't.
you do
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you, guys.
All right, so our motion here then is to approve at step 5.
Yes, so moved.
Okay. And I agree. Okay.
Thank you. You guys have
So
a great evening.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Michelle, and welcome back.
Thank you. I'm glad to
and
be back. I really am. I'm here to stay.
Glad to have you.
Love to hear
Super.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Bye.
All right, let's move on to D, item D.
So this item is a request for advanced placement for Dana Gatto. She was hired as an instructional assistant in transitional kindergarten. Ms. Gatto has over 10 years of early education experience and has also completed coursework in child development. So given her extensive preschool background and the difficulty filling the IATK positions, I'm recommending her request for step placement at step 4.
And is Ms. Gatto here with us?
She is.
Great. Please go ahead. We'd like to hear your comments.
Hi, thank you. So I have 13 years of full-time preschool classroom experience, either as a lead teacher or a co-teacher in a class with either 2 teachers or 3 teachers, up to 24 kids. My last school was a bit smaller. So I've worked with 3 and 4-year-olds for pretty much my entire preschool career, but also, mixed ages in the afternoon. I've developed curriculum, led, all kinds of activities, did, parent-teacher conferences, everything that, a regular teacher is supposed to do. So I was very excited when I saw the opportunity at John Muir. I had applied at a few preschools in the summer and declined 2 offers because they didn't seem like the right fit for me school-wise. So then seeing the John Muir one just kind of seemed perfect for what I was looking for, just to get back in the classroom and in an organization that was a little bigger than what I was used to, that could offer more advancement and opportunities for myself to grow as an educator.
That's good to know. It's important for us to know that that's part of the appeal.
Yeah.
Great,
I have a question.
please.
How did you find yourself moving from Italian art restoration to early childhood education?
Well, the art world is tricky to get into, and I have to say my biggest regret of my last year of college was not just doing a teaching credential, but I was focused in the art world then. I think I worked a year of retail when I graduated college, and then I quickly transitioned into teaching.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Um,
just what drives me.
Wonderful. I have the same question for this applicant as the last one, which is, it seems, given the years of experience, she is eligible for a step 5 placement.
Yes, she would be eligible, yes.
Okay, let's consider that in our motion.
Yeah, I will move modifying the recommendation to a step 5.
And I agree. So, Dana, congratulations. Welcome, and please
Thank
stay
you.
with us a long time. I hope you find the
Thank you so
opportunity
much. I hope to see this into my retirement, honestly.
Wonderful. Always wonderful.
We'd love that. Super.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, wonderful. Wow, okay, we did D and E first, so now we're at G. Thank you.
Yeah, first, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm keeping track, right? I'm doing my best. Okay,
So far, perfect.
please,
So
go ahead.
this item is a request for advanced step placement for Eileen Sullivan, who was hired as an instructional assistant to SPED. Ms. Sullivan brings over 10 years of experience in education. She holds multiple advanced degrees and teaching credentials in 3 states. So given her exceptional qualifications and the ongoing difficulty recruiting for this class, I'm recommending placement at step 5.
And can we tell, is Eileen online?
tell.
Eileen, are you attending our meeting online? Are you with us?
I don't think so.
No.
All right.
All right, I'll go to.
No questions from you?
Vice Chair, no questions. I'll note, again, this is just with candidate quality. This is blowing me away. We just talked with someone who I bet runs a hell of an art program for young people, because your degree in art restoration means you have a lot of skills, very tangible skills. And on this one, I'm seeing multiple degrees, including a master in cell biology, biology and pharmacology. It just sort of, they need this at the high school. But if the calling is to be an IA sped, then, that's what we do. I guess they needed a king too, right? Someone who has that knowledge. That's great.
Move
Do I
to
have a motion? Okay. Motion as is for step 5. Yes, okay, and I agree.
And so,
Now, item H.
so our last request is for, advanced step placement for Janae Wilson, who was hired as an instructional assistant 2 in SPED. Ms. Wilson has more than 15 years of experience supporting students with disabilities and holds multiple certifications, including EMT. And then given her strong background and training, I'm recommending step placement. Step 5.
And I wonder if Joni, how did you pronounce it?
Or Jojo, she goes by Jojo.
Jojo. All right. I wonder if Jojo is online with us.
Not that I can see.
All right. Jojo, are you there? Raise hand if you are, please. Okay, looks like not. Okay. Then we'll just go with our own comments.
No
Vice Chair?
questions from me?
No, okay. Again, I'll just comment on candidate quality. Someone in this role with EMT and some of these other certifications, I hope we never have to use the FEMA certification,
Oh,
what have you, or basic life support, but someone with, beyond, CPR, real EMT is a fabulous thing to have. I didn't see here that where she's assigned.
Oh, goodness. I can't recall right now.
Okay, I mean, it's not
I didn't
material.
Put it, yeah.
No, and I know there have been a lot of people, right, that you've run through, but you know, lucky sight to
Malcolm X.
Malcolm X, okay. Great,
Yeah. A huge variety of backgrounds and experiences.
yeah, but. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, and I agree. It's step 5. And I really want to commend our staff. You know, it's not just luck that brings us a really killer candidate pool. This is great. Can we have more?
Yeah, bring us some more masters
Okay,
in Italian art
right,
restoration.
right, okay.
Yeah, FEMA certified.
Okay, great. All right. So I think we've gone through all the conference items. So we'll move on to agenda item 9, which are the discussion items. And we'll start with 9A, which is our commission annual report.
It's the annual, oh, yes, it's the annual, sorry. So I'm sharing information tonight that will go into this year's Personnel Commission annual report that we will be bringing forward officially next month. This year, we're actually taking the opportunity to refresh and modernize our report. We're taking a look at it in the last couple of years, and I think it needs a little glow up. So we're looking to include more context and data up front. And so things that will better capture the scope of the commission's work and then highlight some of those trends over time. So we haven't yet finalized the format or the layout, but what I'm sharing tonight mainly focuses on the content and those pieces that will appear in that final report. And so I just wanted you to take a look or preview the information. We are going to provide, we put it temporarily into like a slideshow, but we're definitely going to condense the pages and then make it something a little more attractive that we can print out and potentially send out to other departments, to our board, and to different stakeholders. So yeah, so I don't know if we want to go through it kind of slide by slide, or if we want to just briefly glance at it. I think the most, so maybe just real quick slide by slide. And so if we look at slide 1 and 2, that's going to be information that I think that's the cover right there. So slide 2, that's information that we've always brought forward on our annual report. You know, it's just a good opportunity to remind the readers that BUSD's Personnel Commission has been around since 1943. So one of the oldest Personnel Commission districts. And then again, slide 3 is just our mission. And then an introduction to you all. And the term lengths are included in there as well, or the term expiration dates. And then slides 4 and 5 are just, again, information we've brought forward before regarding what the merit system is. It's a good foundation, I think, for some of our readers to see. I worked on a year in review that you could read more carefully when
Right, when we get it,
So,
you know.
there's a little bio
Blow up the type.
information about me. I have to update that picture because it's very old. So then, yeah, and then just some nice facts about what we've accomplished this last year. And then also, I think for our employment transactions data, that again is very similar to information we've brought forward in the past. It's kind of good to see kind of, you know, the trends there. And then looking at slide 8, the recruitment transactions, we've added a few more things there. So we see the applications we've processed,
Yeah, that just jumps right off the page, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I spoke
Thousands
to
more.
that in my
Wow.
year in
Yeah.
review.
Mhm.
And then, all of the, like the jump in our written examinations, for example,
Yeah.
our training and experience assessments. Almost everything has gone up, our performance exams.
Everything is gone up.
Yeah, yeah. So kudos to Brian and Olga. Like, two people doing all this work. And then, I think that was it right there. I think we were just looking at, oh, sorry. We also, wanted to bring forward and highlight the other work we do during the year. So our summer school assignments, which are kind of like limited term assignments that we oversee.
Mhm.
Also our reclassifications, and then our step advance requests.
So a question here, and I don't know, it seems to me this would be fairly easily found. One of the things the commission struggles with, I think, is a perception that we delay the process. And it's one of the reasons that I actually count every report, the average amount of time it takes between our examinations, because we recruit, for a set period of time, typically, right? And sometimes we have back-to-back recruitments. The recruitment period is always the same. We need it to fill the funnel. And then the question is, okay, once we have the funnel, how soon do we move people through it? And for the whole time I have sat on this commission, I have watched those numbers do nothing but improve. Okay, and as I commented today, the intervals between exams is 11 days. And I would invite any recruiting entity to match to that before you release a list to the hiring manager. So I think it's time to actually start demonstrating how long recruitments are with the commission and what the interval is for development of the eligibility lists, so that we can have some better clarity. Maybe if there are delays, where are those delays? So, I'm not asking you to go way back, right? And I realize some of these are 3-year back. But I think there'd be some real value in adding that.
Okay, we can talk through how we can show that for,
Mhm.
are you saying for moving forward in next year's annual report or?
Actually, I would love to
Last
see it
year.
in this report, looking at the past. I will share with you the records that I have kept, if that's helpful.
So
to
like
you?
maybe,
Just, on average, in a year, you can sort of talk about, we developed 80 eligibility lists in a year or something, right? And then, for those 80 lists, we know the interval between the exams, right? And, it is one data point in the process, but basically, once the exams are done, you have a very small waiting period. I realize for appeals, you need to let people know, and appeals, and maybe you explain that. But pretty much after the exams are done, you're able to release to the hiring manager within, I don't know, what, a 10 working day, or is it even less?
oh, we take much less than that.
Uh,
We usually do it after the last exam. We usually send that list within 2 to 3 days.
Uh-huh. So, I think that's worth explaining, and just worth looking at for every list we've generated. What's that average?
So, yes, so then an average of every interval.
Well, right, just the exams
Yeah.
interval. Not every interval in the process, although, you could in the narrative say, we typically, it takes us a week to open a recruitment. We recruit for 4 weeks. Our testing intervals, typically on average are, whatever they are.
I could provide like also a narrative of like what our timeline.
Yeah.
Looks like in normal recruitment.
Right,
And
because.
then we could look at the interval.
Right, and, I get it, our peer group is sometimes other educational institutions. For some positions, it's other, corporate entities for more back office stuff. But, my feeling is that our we're pretty brisk at this point. I think we're competitive and I think we're in a position to show that.
We're definitely, generating lists much faster than for the open and ongoing recruitments. I know we're doing that much faster
Absolutely.
than our
Yeah.
competitors.
Oh, that's good to
talking
know.
with them, So,
Oh, good. Okay.
but, yes.
Okay,
Okay, I'll.
thank you.
Check in with you.
Okay.
Reflect that.
So is the thought that this would be like a little 3-part flyer or something?
Something that's a little easier to, disperse and.
Yeah.
We just realized that this is our old annual report. It's a little too short, I think, in our opinion, and we kind of want something a little
The
more.
print's a little small
Yeah,
also. Yeah,
It is, yeah, it is.
matters though.
So
Okay.
maybe like a small booklet,
Mhm.
or something like that we could look at. Yeah, we're looking at different templates right now. So
Got it.
haven't done anything we really like, we're being picky.
Okay. Okay. And no, I think it's great, because it's part report, it's part promotional material, right? So. Other thoughts?
Looks great to me. My only correction is I'm the chair, I'm the vice chair, but I should
That
have,
was probably last year.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the update.
and I texted,
Now
I
you're good.
sent you an email earlier,
Thank you.
but that is my bad. So,
All right, ready to move on to 9B, the update on
Yeah.
IA Sped 2?
Grad recruitment.
Okay, so we are bringing back our report. I don't know if you all have this. Did I give it to you?
No.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Brian, they're in my office, the copies. We're also gonna project
Okay, great,
the
thank you.
report, but it might be easier for you all to see.
Mhm.
To see them. So what we're doing is, we are, we're bringing back the staffing report that shows, that highlights the progress and the ongoing challenges we're having recruiting for the IA2 sped positions. So we're comparing, yes, so if you can give them each, they're already,
Holy.
yeah. Yeah, about 5 pages. Cover page and,
Thank you.
and there's. I'll finish share that report.
All right.
So,
You should actually already have this spreadsheet. This is the same one that I've shared previously.
yes, so, I have it, thank you. So so you can see since our last meeting in September, we've made some measurable progress. We hired 10 new IA2 special ed employees, and then we have currently 9 in the onboarding queue.
Mhm.
And then using last month's data, we can see that the district is now, we compared last month, to this month, and we're seeing that the district is now utilizing 58 contractors. But that's down from 65 the previous report. And then we currently have 27 IA2 sped vacancies, so that's not counting the 9 that are in the queue.
Mhm.
So we were able to work out that there are 30 positions right now that are filled by contractors. So that do not correspond to a vacancy.
Mhm.
So that is an interesting number, and we're gonna have to work closely with the special ed team and the district to try to get the staffing to align and create additional positions so that the vacancies match the contractors. So I wanted to set up the first meeting for the IA2 sped, the subcommittee, staffing and recruitment subcommittee this month, but we had our director currently go on leave, and so I'll be coordinating that with the interim director when they begin in November.
Got it.
So we can move forward with that as soon as possible.
Do we know who that person is, the interim?
Yeah, their name is Margaret, and I forgot their last name, but I already sent her an email.
Their current staff, is it someone from staff or
No.
we're bringing out someone
No, it's
externally?
someone, it's actually a contractor.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so, but meanwhile, we're continuing, our bi-weekly recruitment cycle. generating new eligibility lists, and then we're also expected to make progress on filling more of these vacancies at our recruitment and hiring event in November.
Interesting. Can you tell us a little more about how we're gonna sort of reconcile the 30 contractor positions that don't map
Yeah.
to a vacancy?
Right, so, I've actually had to meet with, each of the special ed program supervisors to discuss, the current contractors placed at the site. And they've all agreed that they are ready to provide the information necessary to, get these positions matched with FTE. However, there's a bigger, process involved where that has to get to the board and that, request has to be made formally. Similar to what we're doing with the IT positions where we were able to identify the contractors and we found that there are no current vacancies for those contractors. We're taking a memo to the board and establishing the new positions at the next meeting. So special ed, although they've already done it last year because their numbers have changed at the start of the school year, their numbers were off, so they're gonna have to make another effort to get these positions established.
Okay. That sounds like a chain of accountability. That sounds right to me. Thank you.
So Frank has the hand up.
Frank, please go ahead.
Yeah, that's good information on that report. Thank you. But I have a question about the FTE. So I noticed some are 1.0s and I noticed some don't have any FTE. Just from a union standpoint, we're offering contractors a 1.0 positions where we don't have 1.0s at those schools. And my other question, if you could answer it, is why don't we have the information about the FTEs that are blank? And there's about
You're
half.
talking about the FTEs,
Are blank.
mostly that, some contractors have blank FTEs.
Yeah, about half of the contractors that are in no positions. Or no
They're not.
vacancies.
Vacant position.
Yeah.
And that's because we still have not been able to consolidate that information from special ed. So they can give us like hours worked. So we could definitely make a push to get more specific information about the hours worked by the contractors, but we just weren't able to get that this time around. They let me know that most of them are working the same FTE that staff at the sites where they're working, but they didn't have the specific hourly information when I checked in with them. The
Interesting.
1.0s are at Berkeley High, by the way.
I'm sorry,
The
what?
1.0s should all be at
At Berkeley High, okay.
And the independent study.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine it's going to be an iterative process to get a clear explanation from the SPED group. It'll be iterative. You'll probably wind up asking the same question a few different times until you get a response that makes enough sense to hold water. And it's not that I think somebody is trying to be disingenuous or dishonest. I think one of the ways we got here was probably some discontinuity in records and tracking. What was needed pre-census, what was needed post-census, what changed the beginning of the second semester. So I would 100% expect it's going to take them some time to tease it out. And what I hope is that you are able to get their sustained focus on this, because I realize having a new interim director, is not the ideal circumstance for them.
Yeah, 30 unaccounted for positions is not ideal. I would wish we had fixed it when we said that we fixed, well, not we. The whole point of adding on the positions previously was to true it up and, it seems like we got closer, but not quite all the way there. Or maybe, who knows how many have been added since then, big things change, but, it seems like we also need a procedure so that when things change, we find out affirmatively rather than afterwards. So I don't know if the board needs to implement some kind of, resolution specifying a framework or a practice or a procedure. But, I'd like to see something. So if you guys have any recommendations for the board in terms of what they should do, so that we get these proactively, I'd look forward to seeing that.
I guess a question with that, and I think it would be a subsidiary question. Somewhere we've got someone who does procurement, probably in the CBO's office. And, I don't really know if that process of procuring contractors, because we get contractors for all kinds of stuff, janitorial, special ed, whatever. I don't know if it's a responsibility that sits in the CBO's office or if it sits with HR. Right, but my guess is somewhere we have a procurement policy that talks about what to do. My guess is the ownership and the execution against this policy is probably split a couple places. And that's where I would start to look. Is there anyone else who's online who has comments or something to say about this? Nobody?
Oh, yeah, great.
Okay. Vice Chair, anything more
No,
from you?
more work should be done.
Thank you for doing this.
I have a comment.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Oh, thank you, Frank. Please go ahead.
You forced me into saying it. You can't.
Uh-oh.
I mean, this is a good report in the fact that this is the most information we've had in years, right? So I appreciate the report. And I'm trying to be positive here, but and I will stay positive. It's a great report and I appreciate the report. Okay, I gotta be a little negative, but this should have came a long time ago, and I'm not saying anything negative with the PC. More like you guys said, there's not anybody in charge who's making sure that something like this happens. And this should be happening somewhere in the district. Somebody should be in charge of it instead of like last year having 150 contractors when there's no vacancies. Anyways, again, I'll come back and be positive. This is a good report and I'm glad to see it. I know it's the second one we've had. So thank you.
I'll add the positive spin that collecting data is always the first step to recommending process changes, and demonstrating the need. And it's a process, right? We're probably going to learn more about, who made what decisions or, who agreed to what, and that will help us make suggestions for a better process. But for the moment, our near-term focus, and I don't want us to lose track of that, is we need to fill vacancies. Number one, we need to figure out if we've got positions that are not mapped to a vacancy, what they are. Number two, and then we'll work on policy and process based on what we learn.
There's another hand up, Kim Johnson.
Sure. Ken or Kim?
Kim.
Kim, please go ahead.
Hi, I developed a question after Frank spoke, and curiosity that me and one of my colleagues had at our site is, we continue to see emails about vacancies for a position, and I was curious if there's going to be any data or look like further research into recidivism of people, like retention of IAs, and why or what can be done to increase retention of talent, potentially beefing up training. So maybe some of us feel ill-equipped. I was just curious about all of that and when data of that might come into.
That's a great question.
I have I think that's a really important question. I don't know if the commission is in the best position to gather that information. But I definitely think, just like we commissioned someone to do right before I was joining the commission, there was the report that we had,
The class
and cost study. That was a really big, analysis, so it's an expense. And I think that a retention study, something like that, I don't think that we should do it. but it's, you know, talking to the district about that as an investment.
You know, so what I'll add is in the past, the Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources once a year has reported on, turnover, you know, is sometimes what it's called. And I think the turnover has, the way it has been sliced, has not necessarily been by job title. You know, I think it's been, you know, there's been overall, you know, there's been maybe some by location. So I think it is worth asking for something like that. What I note here, and you know, it absolutely still is a problem because even in just this little bit of data from 9/25, 10 new hires, 3 separations, right? So we're at 33%, you know, maybe a little less, right? Which is a pretty hefty, you know, turnover just, you know, in that snapshot. That's not the real turnover calculation. I appreciate that. But, you know, just as a snapshot, you know, for every 10 we're bringing in, we're losing 3. That's not very good, right? So, you know, absolutely, this is something that as the employer, BUSD would need to invest in. And I think it would start with them looking at drilling down a little bit on retention, just to try to understand, you know, how does special ed look? How does before and after school look? You know, and, you know, comparing it to other departments, you know, how does maintenance look, right? You know, to sort of see, are there areas that need focus because the turnover is high?
Yeah, I'd be happy to discuss this with Assistant Sue of HR.
That'd be great. Yeah. Right, because I know she does that anyway. And it's a good point.
Frank has another comment.
Frank, go ahead.
Keep dragging me back in. Yeah, no, it's a great question that was asked. Retention. So we know that the school program has been pretty notorious for not for people leaving or having a high turnover rate. But it'd be really nice if we could have the numbers, because we know it's there, but we don't know what the numbers say. And it would be nice also in the SPED 2 realm to know what those numbers are. So I'm
Okay.
just,
Noted. Yeah.
Highly on
I
top.
think we all agree.
yeah, thank you.
Okay, so I think Erin has agreed.
We can, so if you guys look at that summary page, we already report the separations. So we could, you know, instead of bringing it. to
This little summary.
Yeah.
Page, yeah, okay.
But we could, bring back like the summary for August, September, and then moving forward, we could do something like that for, just so we could see, you know.
You know that.
but I know it's a bigger.
It is, but you know, it would be just nice to understand.
Yeah.
You know, because cyclically, you know, most educational institutions, you know, there are periods of time when turnover is higher.
Yeah.
And when it's not, you know, September is when you have all your flameouts, right? January is again, and then next semester when you're gonna have your flameouts, and things will be fairly stable for a while, you know, and then, you know, you'll have your vacancies at the end of the semester, you know, the spring semester, right?
Yeah.
The nice part about collecting data is you can take it back and say, you know, what about this, right? So, yeah, if we think we can do that for September and October pretty easily, let's do it.
Yeah.
So what I'm taking from this discussion is, Erin, you're gonna, you know, approach HR. You know, first for sort of drill down reporting, maybe on high velocity positions. I mean, you know, while you're asking, you know, we know the ones that are high velocity, right? And then the other thing is, right? You know, sort of a month by month.
Yeah.
And are you thinking turnover? Or are you just thinking in out statistics?
I think we can definitely look at separations to start with. You know, so like just this data that we're already bringing. But if we are able to see any trends, we can look at, you know, longevity or take other factors into consideration.
Okay,
So-
I want to make the distinction because, you know, what we know and, you know, just so as not to mislead anybody. You know, we have, I forget how many special ed positions defined.
The vacancies, you mean?
And not the vacancies,
Oh,
but just
total.
the total overall positions.
Sorry, I don't remember.
I'm thinking
That
like
number.
120,
Yeah,
or maybe it was even more like 150. I
I
mean,
think
we
it's
have.
close to 200. To be
Is
honest,
it? All right. What I'm saying is we have a very big divisor. And if all we really lost, you know, in the last month, you know, let's say was 3, you know, turnover for that month, you know, is 3 over 200 minus the vacancies, you know, the math is a little different.
right.
But, you know, I was just remarking that on the face of it, you know, we brought in 10, we lost 3, you know. So the math is slightly different. I know you appreciate that, but for others who are listening, I want to make sure they're clear on that. So, yeah, I just think let's start collecting some numbers and see what we learn. Okay. Does anybody have any other comments on item 9B before we move on? All right, this is really good work. Thank you. All right, let's move on to item 10. Public comment. The room is just us now. So I think the question is there anybody virtually who would like to speak? Frank, all yours.
yeah, I have a question I'm hoping Erin could answer, or maybe for clarity. For her, when she gave her report out, she said that we should be filling in all the vacancies for after school program positions here pretty soon. I thought I heard her say, or I heard you say, Erin, that we're gonna keep the 10 contractors, but open up hopefully more positions. Was that correct, that we're gonna keep them?
No, I just said that they identified 10 contractors in positions. And they're gonna turn those, they're gonna create positions based on those 10 and then remove the contractors. Kelly actually is already in communications with the agencies, letting them know that they're might be removed soon.
Okay, so maybe that's why my clarity, I'm still not clear. So are we removing the 10 before we're hiring anyone?
No, not before we hire, not before.
So we're gonna keep the 10 contractors.
We're keeping them until, because I believe they're needed, we're keeping them as we fill them.
But we
are,
did fill them. That's where I'm having a problem. We filled those positions. Yeah, they were
No.
vacancies.
no, Frank, we're creating 10 new positions.
But I'm saying you're doing it after you filled the vacancies that the contractors were in. You filled those, they should have, in theory, got rid of the contractors. But instead, we're keeping the contractors and we're gonna create some more positions and keep.
It sounds like there are 10 contractors who were hired, but no position existed
Yes.
for them to be hired into.
That's
So
right.
we got rid of all the contractors that we filled positions for, but there are still 10 contractors without a position. We're gonna create 10 new positions, and then as we hire into them, we'll eliminate those contractors.
That's right.
So we had, okay, for clarity, then we had,
We don't know, I don't know how many contractors we had. All I know is that we have about 4 vacancies left for the IT after school positions. As they get filled, the contractors are going away, but I can't say for sure, Frank, if those are currently filled by contractors. I know that there are 10 out there. In addition to those 4 vacancies,
in
there are
addition,
10.
okay.
Yeah,
So there are between 10 and 14 contractors.
could be, yeah.
Well,
I
no,
mean, my
Four
understanding,
vacancies, we don't know how many of
10.
them have contractors in them.
Yeah.
That's what she's saying.
Yeah, we
my
need to
my
hire.
understanding at the beginning of the year is that they hired 10 contractors in the after school program. That's what the contract was for. That was my understanding. Maybe this,
That's correct.
So at the risk of stating the obvious, can I just check something here just to make sure that my understanding of how this works is how it actually works in BUSD? There's a budget every year, and that budget is based on a staffing plan. And the staffing plan has identified positions in it with FTEs in it. So at BUSD for the classified side of the house, we have, you know, I'm making this up, 650 different positions, you know, varying FTEs, and that rolls into our budget for, you know, 25, 26, 26, 27, et cetera. So when we talk about contractors that are when we talk about a vacancy is a budgeted position that has an FTE and a dollar value assigned to it.
Yes.
A position that is not mapped to a vacancy is extra money we're spending that is not budgeted at the moment.
That's my understanding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great, just checking. Okay, thank you.
And there's gonna be very detailed numbers in the memo that Kelly is taking to the board, Frank. And it has like dollar amounts as far as like the cost savings of creating these positions and getting employees to fill them. So similar to what Special Ed brought, so I just looked at a draft briefly today. But I know that they're still working on it, and so when it's published on Friday, we'll definitely have more of that information in that memo.
Yeah, I'd love to see those numbers because they're just not jiving in my head right now
Yeah.
at all. I mean, they had 10 contractors and they had vacancies, and now they were short people with the 10 contractors. Now we have plus. They didn't get rid of the contractors as they were going, is what I'm saying in short. They should have got rid of the contractors as they were filling those positions, and they didn't do that, it sounds like. But we'll find out. When we see the numbers, we'll have more information.
We'll know. You know, a last comment I'll make is if BUSD operates like other organizations, the budget for positions is as we just described. There are other budgets. There are budgets for procurement of contractors for janitorial, of contractors to build a building. I presume somewhere else there is another budget, because most organizations have it for swing staff, you know, I don't know what we call it here.
The contract.
Yeah, something. So this is why eventually the CBO and the procurement side needs to be part of the discussion, because somehow, you know, the district pays for this. It's not in the staffing plan. It's somewhere else. Okay, and if their school board approves the request for 10 new positions, for example, you know, for this before and after school,
Where's that money?
it's because there's money somewhere else that they are moving to the staffing plan
Yeah.
to do it. Make sense? Okay. Okay, is there anybody else who would like to speak for public comment? Okay, hearing none. We'll move on to our next meeting. So we're starting to get into the holidays. So our next meeting is on a Monday, right?
Mhm.
Monday, the 17th. Also at 4:30.
4:30.
Right? And it will be back at the boardroom?
If all checks out, potentially, I think there's a conflict maybe on a Monday.
No,
Was
we have
there?
it reserved.
Oh, we
just
did
If
reserve.
we want to take a chance on the technology.
Well, do
Yeah.
we feel like it's been the
Better.
bugs?
We've heard there have not been.
I haven't had the technical issues at the rent board we haven't had a technical issue in a couple months, I think. I mean, the other thing, this works fine, so you know, but
Do our commissioners have a preference?
I'm sort of indifferent.
I'm indifferent.
I think maybe for that meeting, because it's on Monday and it's like in a regular meeting, we could stick to Parker Street. We do have this for.
Oh, I didn't check, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, actually, maybe we can double check that, because that will determine.
Yeah. And we really sort of have we have a Wednesday in December, but we have the third Wednesday, not the fourth Wednesday.
Right.
So I don't know if that's an issue or not either.
With this room or with the,
Oh, with going back to the,
oh, right, no, I think we reserved that in
Yeah,
advance.
all of the
All
boardroom
those
dates are
reserved, yeah,
on the calendar.
Yeah.
Parker Street is fine for Monday, the 17th here.
okay. So
Okay.
maybe.
Maybe this
stick
room.
for and then we can look into the boardroom for December.
okay, I'm all right with Parker. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
For November, okay. Okay, so all things being equal, it's 5:48 and we will adjourn. Thank you, everyone.
Very good. Yes.
feels late because it's getting so dark. By next
I know,
time,
it feels like, late, yeah, it'll be totally dark next time. Sarah, may I keep this? Thank you.